Quiet on the set. Yeah, but. That's how you started.
Welcome to the Bear Facts on Guns, where host Derek Baer and his guests are locked and loaded to educate, inspire, and answer your questions about firearms. Today, try walking a mile in another country's shoes. Ready. Aim. Derek.
Oh, good morning. Welcome. Oh my God, I just said good morning.
One of those days.
It is one of those days.
That is
it's
it.
We're gonna walk into that. Hey Kiki, what's up? Wonderful. Welcome back to the Thursday afternoon nighttime show. Thank you all for joining in. We got some hot topics to talk about today.
A lot going on.
What's that?
A lot going on.
There's a lot going on. And you know, I'm gonna try to keep this as sanctioned as the best I can, but I'm gonna probably jump around because a lot of it has to do back and forth with a bunch of different stuff on there as well. I want to do a big shout out again, Mom. Thank you so much. Sign looks amazing in the studio.
Yeah, right over your shoulder. Looks good.
Yeah, it looks really good. Stands out really nicely. Can't appreciate it much as that. I can't even speak now. Appreciate it a ton. Thank you so much for getting that made for Christmas on there as well, and proud to put it up in the studio. For those of you that aren't paying attention to the news, aren't on social media, aren't doing anything, and just listen to 216 The Net every single day, as you should, to the vast variety of different shows that this wonderful program puts out. Russia invaded Ukraine today. Last night, right? 9:30 p.m.
Yep.
Last night is when the official time is and everything. I'm not going to go political with this, by the way. I'm going to start off with saying, in the news today, if you paid attention to what's happening on the gun side of things, in Ukraine itself, the government of Ukraine is now desperately handing out firearms to its people and saying, protect yourself, basically. It's a scary moment, and it's a scary thought when it comes down to exactly what's happening right this second in our country alone, right? So we're having this big war on guns in our own country where they're trying to ban certain types of firearms. They're calling them assault rifles when they're not. The AR-15s, any kind of scary looking gun is what I'm going to put there and say on there as well, as they're just going to call it an assault rifle because it looks scary. The other side of that is they're trying to cap the amount of rounds are held in a magazine. So they're saying, you don't need a 40 round magazine. You need a 10 round magazine, and that's it. Because what it can spawn is massacres, massacre shootings. And that's the other part, obviously, I'm going to talk about today is the Sandy Hook settlement that just came through also. So they tie into each other in a weird way. So I'm going to try and connect the dots here so you guys can understand my knowledge of where I'm trying to go with this and what I'm trying to portray, because right now there's a lot of different countries that have imposed and set in place removal of firearms for civilians entirely, right? Or put heavy restrictions. And it's happening in our country right now. And I'm going to throw out my home state of New York being one of them as a super restrictor, I call. You have super restrictions on what firearms you can get. You can't have a pistol. You can't conceal carry unless you're signed off by a police officer, which no cop's going to sign off on that because I wouldn't do it if I was a cop.
Right.
And moving to Illinois was a really cool thing because I got opened up to a concealed carry world, and I can't live in a state again that doesn't have concealed carry in some way, shape, or form, or the right to bear arms in general, or no permits and all that.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, right to bear arms. Some guys look good in a tank top, some don't.
Have you seen me in a tank top, Ben? Oh, you actually probably
Yes,
have. You probably have. Actually, yeah. You saw me all wet too. We don't talk about man camp.
Never mind.
Yep. We're
Never
move on from that.
It never
happened. I found a sticker today in my office. I was cleaning out one of my drawers, and it was so funny. It's like Mike with the Dream Home Experts. It airs tomorrow. And Art was in my office, and it says, "I love pooping in the woods." And all I could think about is the outhouse that we pooped in, and I left the door shut until somebody said, "Just leave the door open. What's the problem?" I'm like, I don't know. I just never have pooped with the door open in the wilderness. What if a bear walks in while I'm pooping? And I'm like, honestly, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna poop with the door open.
Right.
Best feeling in the world. I'm gonna eventually buy a piece of land and put a toilet in the middle of the yard and just poop with no doors.
That's
because talk about freedom. That sounds really
That's
cool.
the way to do it.
So, not a pretty sight.
Mac.
Thanks, Mac. I know I look myself in the mirror every day, dude. So Kiki, that's why we're going to Arizona. Yes, someday we're going to be in a state like Arizona on that as well. So, when I think about other countries, and it's amazing to me, a place like Ukraine. And my heart and soul goes out to the innocent people of Ukraine that are helpless, that have nothing involved in this, are trying to live their lives, have no motivation to hate or anything, and are just stuck in this because of two countries that are feuding over whatever it is. And there's various reasons. And again, I'm not going to go down this political stampede because it's not about that. What I think about is a friend of mine has a grandmother over there that's still there, has not been contacted, has not heard anything about if this person is okay or safe or whatever.
Scary.
It is scary. They can't defend themselves because they were communists. It was a communist country at one point, and every right you had was restricted by the government and controlled by the government, and you were told what to do and when to do it and everything else. So I can only... What's the matter? I know. It's foreshadowing. So we're sitting, and you have this going off. You have bombs going off, and now the government's trying to shove weapons to you. Protect yourself. We're here to help you, which is famous last words by a government, by the way. Recently stated by somebody in our country. So we're going to shove guns. Number one, how the F do you get the guns? How do you get the bullets for the guns? And how do you replenish yourself without being shot while you're trying to run and get all this? They know that they're giving guns out now. So don't you think they're going to target the areas that the guns are being distributed as a point that says, hey, that might cause an issue later on. We're just going to take it out right now. The guns depot that you're just opened up, it's like a Walmart at this point now. You just walk down and pick whatever guns you want. We're probably going to take that out first because that's probably a good place for everyone to go there. And there's a great movie, right, about stuff that I'm going to get into with this.
Red Dawn.
Oh, my God. I love it. I'm sorry. I was going to say Wolverines. See, Kiki, I did get it on the show. I told you she had bet that I couldn't get that on the show.
We didn't even plan that.
No, I did. I planned it, but no, I didn't plan it. But Wolverines is amazing.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched Red Dawn, it's one of the. I got it when I was 16 years old. My mom bought it for me. The original Red Dawn. The second Red Dawn is actually not bad either. No, good replay of the movie and good updated actors and stuff like that. But it's basically kids learning how to survive without anything and not having to ever shoot a gun before and ever learning. And obviously there's love story in there and everything else. That's movie bullshit. And no one was actually shot on that movie set. Just want to throw that out there.
Just putting it out there.
Still fucking not arrested, by the way.
Just enjoying life.
Yeah, Baldwin, you need to go to jail right now. I don't. I'm going to keep saying it every episode until
First of all, thanks for tuning in to the Bare Facts on Guns, but you still need to go to jail.
You really do need to go to jail, like right now. Like you can call me on my cell phone right now.
Go
I'll tell
directly
I'll
without passing
That's
jail.
fine. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I don't even think you need a trial at this point. I'll be your judge and advocate on there as well.
Alec.
Who said it? Kiki? Did she say it already? She's giving me shit already. I know it. So you're scared. You're in a country, and she's already dying. You're in a country, and all I can think about is, say we fast forward 20 years from now, and they've removed every gun from us, from our ownership, and they've forcefully removed it, and they've told us that we're not allowed to have guns anymore. And our North and South counterpartners here, right? So Canada and Mexico, right? They're right. They're the closest to us, and that's all I'm gonna say, because now you have cartel in Mexico that decides, hey, you know what? We want to expand territory, and we have the Mexican government that says, hey, you know what? We kind of want America to be Mexico.
Give me Texas back.
We want Texas back. And then Canada's like, hey, we're cold, and you guys have better like nourishments for farms, and you have a bunch of empty space, and it's fine. We're gonna get attacked from the north and south, right? And then what do? How do we defend ourselves? The government's gonna jump in and throw us a whole bunch of guns about our vast country. Ukraine's not small.
It's a big 144 million.
Yeah.
Right?
So it
covers a lot of land.
It does.
Not a lot of people. Yeah.
So how do you logistically, during a time of war, when you should be sitting in a war room planning how to stop this from happening, which unfortunately I'm not confident. I feel really scared for what's going to happen over there, because you're already panicking and you're shoving guns into that. So there's like a couple things that kind of pop in my head.
Martial law has been declared over there.
Okay.
And males age 18 to 60 are not allowed to leave the country.
So we did that too. America, right? We did.
Well, yeah.
I mean, if you shoot yourself in the foot, or if you have an injury in basic camp, like a couple of our leaders have done, and call yourself a war hero, it's awesome. Just gonna throw that out there. Again, I really don't want to make this political today. It's really hard.
It is hard, but the unfortunate thing is a lot of the issues, the
shit rolls downhill.
The narrative has wanted to spin it to a political thing.
And it's been so. That's why I brought up Sandy Hook, and that's why I'm talking about Ukraine, and that's why I'm talking about Wolverines, because there's 3 separate parts and 3 separate incidences, and all of it's sad, right? So like death is not great in any shape or form in any way. I don't agree with it at all. I think we should live great lives. I think war is bad. There's no reason for war other than greed, is what I feel, right?
There's never a winner.
There's never a winner. No, because both sides suffer and both sides and at the end of the day, you have a bunch of Ukrainians right now that are scared out of their minds. They don't have means to defend themselves. And all I can think about is, so the narrative that I'm coming up with is, we've taken away guns in America completely. It's gone. So like Australia, okay? Mind you, just put their own citizen in camps for quarantine, and there's nothing you can do about it. Just throwing it out there. Canada has stripped rights out and is basically telling you what to do, and you have no way of defending yourself. So they lined up a bunch of trucks, and now they're basically saying it's another supply chain issue that's causing supply chain issues into America. Again, your narrative, Kent, you just spoke of, is setting up nicely for some different things that are about to happen in this country. And it's Magda just sent me a freaking text message. It's hilariously funny, and I can't say it on the air. So, I'll show it to you later, Kent, in the green room. It's fucking funny. So you have no means of defending you. So now we have to rely on our government to protect us. So what happens if the government can't protect you? So now you're at the mercy of another country that's invading you, that hates you, not you as a person, hates
what your country stands for.
What your country stands for, and you might not care. There's no feelings in that, right? I'm going to shoot you because you're an X person. Russians do not like Ukrainians. It is known. Ukrainians do not like Russians. It's known. It's the same with the Greeks and the
And-
Turks. It's been the Christians and the what was it was like 2,000-year war. It's been going on forever.
The non-Christians.
Yeah, I guess no, there is another one. I can't remember what it was.
But yeah, this is not something that just popped up overnight. The Ukrainians and the Russians not real happy with each other for a long time.
So what's the gain for it, right? So
Yeah.
why? I mean, Russia's 10% of our oil, right? For gas right now.
World's oil.
World's oil. Thank you. Ukraine has really good crops.
Palestine versus Israel.
Thank you.
Christian Muslims.
Thank you. That's exactly what I knew. It was something like that. Of course, my wife knows that. She is amazing. Oh, and thank you for that too. So it's not plentiful oil. What's the resource that's being fought over right now? Because it's in a weird spot. It's not like it's a prime real estate next to oceanfront water and everything else, other than the hate. And the hate is one thing, but you don't take over a whole country because of hate.
Right.
Maybe you do.
I think Ukraine produces over 50% of the wheat for that area over there. It's a big farming country.
And Russia's tiny, right? So you don't have places
right. You can't find some brown dirt. Well, they did have Chernobyl. That ruined a lot of it. But
Chernobyl is Ukraine.
They
just took it over.
You're right. Now they're going back in there. That's interesting.
And it's pretty shitty, right? So I read a news article. I mean, obviously I've been reading news articles on this stuff for the past 2 weeks, and I'm trying to keep my thoughts very clear because there is a very big valid point to this. They took over Chernobyl, and it's kind of a slap in the face for every single Ukrainian that gave their life to protect more of the country that could have been affected by Chernobyl.
Correct.
Like, why do you need Chernobyl? It's desolate, it's radioactive, and it's useless completely for I mean, they said 10,000 years when it first happened, but I think that number's actually changed a lot because I don't think they understood at the time, which I still fucking can't get. You're a scientist. You should know these things. That it's not 10,000 years. It's actually less than that. It's like 1,000 years or something.
Still,
it's
long time.
Whatever. We take away our guns. We take away not only the freedom. It's the freedom for domestic terrorism and foreign terrorism. We're not talking about just
domestic terrorism.
Yes. And government is in there too, to protect ourselves from our own government so that it does not become too powerful.
Oh, interesting.
How interesting is that? So I just want to think on that for a second. So Wolverine the movie, Red Dawn, Wolverine the movie, Red Dawn.
So let's talk with the people who, like myself, who don't own firearms.
Correct.
Okay. I don't know that I'm afraid of going by a house that has a firearm.
No.
Okay.
Yep.
And perhaps there's a sense of security that I'm unaware of in the back of my head.
Sure.
Because 8 houses on my street have. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. And I think that element of surprise is comforting, knowing that, well, I don't. Maybe I'm the only one on the street that doesn't have a gun. I don't know.
I mean, how many people walk to their neighbor's house and say, "How many firearms you got?"
But throughout history, that's also why a lot of people haven't tried to attack. No, I do not own a firearm. I got a couple of guns. But I don't know.
Ken needs to reload his gun.
Yeah.
look at a little empty.
Right. But a lot of people have chosen to not try to come into the United States because of that unknown of, I don't know who has, who doesn't have, and how this is actually going to work.
Yep. So we're going to, again, it's perception is key.
Yeah.
So if you're coming in from another country and you're looking at America and we just are a bunch of fat, lazy, gun wielding hillbillies that, try to milk everything that we do, because, there's obviously that's what some people think. in the world. In different countries and cultures, they look at Americans as fat, lazy, and gun-wielding rednecks. At the end of the day, we have 400 million registered firearms in America. 400 million. I just want to put a stop in there. You know how many civilians are out there? How many U.S. citizens there are? 393 million. So we have more guns than we have people in America. Registered guns. And registered guns.
Correct.
I'm pretty sure that number's probably doubled. Just throwing it out there for anybody listening in.
But we don't know. There's no way to track.
Yeah, it's not registered, so it's not tracked. Again, so that brings up a very valid point. So what if we were in Ukraine and this is hypothetical, right? And I'm talking about Ukraine because that's it. And again, my heart's go out to the Ukrainian people. I really hope, it's conflict is over quickly.
Absolutely.
There's no death that doesn't, whatever. Russia's real good at hacking stuff right now. And whether you're a conspiracy theorist or not, Russia's hacked a couple different things out there that he's claimed that he's done.
Well, yes. And our president sat with him and said, here's a list of things we want you to stay away from.
Yeah. But my hair and my legs, rubbed up. Again, not political.
Hey, here's where everything.
Those are all facts, guys.
Here's where everything's hidden, but please stay away from it.
Yes. So if you have registered firearms and an address and a concealed carry permit and a FOID card that says your address is this and this is how many guns you have, isn't that a pretty freaking big red flag to say, hey, come take my house? And by the way, don't go to you don't need to go to Kent's house because Kent doesn't have registered firearms, but I'm going to go to your 8 neighbors first. And Kent's going to go, but he has the guns. I don't. And, you're going to attack those houses first because they're registered. It brought me to a very fast conclusion that why the fuck am I registering my shit? Other than to be a lawful U.S. citizen, which is what I try to do every day, except for driving. Because everyone speeds. So everyone is unlawfully driving at 1 mile an hour over the speed limit. Just throwing out there.
That's correct.
What's that?
That is correct.
Yeah,
sir.
I'm just saying. So, Kent had a question, or I think she had a question.
No, she just said, Kent, you don't own a firearm.
Oh, yes.
I do not.
No.
I do have a sweet airsoft.
Yeah, he does. He shoots me every day with it. We have to talk about training with him, safety with him as well. We've been working on it.
I do keep this. I do keep this.
Yes, that's the handiest shit right away.
Right there, right by the producer's table.
So it kind of got me down a rabbit hole with this whole, and God rest his soul, Uncle Pete. When we first started the show and he was on here, he changed my mind right away because I was accepting the fact that a Second Amendment is, hey, I'm happy carrying a license and proving that I'm capable of, concealed carry every single day. And he goes, the Second Amendment doesn't have any of that in there. So why should you be doing that at all? And now, again, God rest that guy's soul, because it would just slap me right in the face and said, you know what? I have let a freedom go that I didn't even realize that I had relinquished it. And thank you for bringing up the point. And you're right. What the hell? Why did I give that up? And I came from a state that was like, hey, by the way, we don't think you're fit to carry a concealed carry ever. So you just can't do it. And
the other thing that I will say is all my little pistols and everything will not compare to the firepower of a Russia. Right. I mean, if they choose, I could be sitting there with my guns, buried in with my guns in my garage, waiting for them to open the door.
Sure.
And the next thing you know, a drone came through and took out my house because they knew it was registered. Right. So there's that as well.
Absolutely. Fast forward if you sit in that situation. So we do get attacked. Mm-hmm. The first place, personally, I would go is the woods. I would not run to a major city. I would not run to a heavily populated area. I would find the furthest thing away from that because there's no reason to invade an area that's unpopulated because it's a waste of resources on whoever's end that's doing it. At the same time, that firearm becomes a tool, like it always has been, and a means to eat every single day. But yet, our current administration is telling me I can only carry 10 rounds in a magazine because it's unsafe and creates mass murderers across the country. Tennessee, baby.
Yeah. Again, I think he said he's going to go where nobody's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tennessee's pretty. It's now become Illinois South.
We went there, right?
Yeah.
And no knocking against Tennessee because Art's a huge Tennessee fan, and
they have open carry there.
And it was amazing to walk into a gun store, which I did, and shop in Tennessee. It is exactly what you just said. I went to Tennessee to get away from people and to enjoy nature and enjoy sunshine and perfect weather. And all I got was straight freaking tourism on there as well. There you go. Cold Shield Services Tennessee location fan. There you go. Sounds good, Jess. And I know Art will be on board with that one. I will not be. I'm not a fan of Tennessee. I haven't found the right areas. It was too touristy. The roads were beautiful. The scenery was beautiful. It was a drive. People did not drive really well on there too.
Yeah, you were in Gatlinburg.
I know. That's true. Yeah, but I did find something really good down there, which was the Smoky Mountain Moonshine that I love, and we sell it at Benny's, which is great. Benny's, if you're listening, thank you so much for the continued support on Old Smoky. It's really good. They make blackberry moonshine that's delicious. So we go into a world. I just think of the movie Red Dawn then. So I'm going to defend myself and I'm going to try and hide out in the woods, but you only have a certain amount of firearms. If you don't have access to that stuff, you have no chance at all. It's like showing up in a go-kart to a NASCAR race and saying, it's funny. You think there wouldn't be a chance, but if Ricky Bobby,
I don't know.
I'm just going to slowly do this. Don't know what to do with my hands. If you show up to that race, every single car could break down and you still could win.
That's correct.
It's a tiny chance.
You got a chance.
You got a chance. So that's my chance.
You're going to find your lane and stick in it, though, in that little go-kart.
Yeah, you're going to be run over real quick.
You're going to get bumped.
I just want to feel the wind. Feel the wind in my hair.
That's it.
But the same thing goes with this. So
there is a chance.
There's a chance. So you have a firearm. There's a chance. There's a chance that you can survive. There's also a chance that you can survive in the wilderness, off grid, and hide, and still have some kind of a life that's free in your own realm, and try to go from there.
A lot of people who live off grid have that, right? And I don't know, right? So I've never been in a war torn area.
No,
I haven't.
America hasn't been in a war torn.
Well, we could go back to 2020. There were some bad things happening, towns burning and things like that. Again, I wasn't part of that.
We don't talk about that.
Right.
Yeah. No.
So I don't know what it is to fear for my life. Right.
Yeah.
Now I have had right.
Uh-huh.
I have been held the gun at point blank. Right.
But if you look at that situation right there, right. And I probably know your answer to this, but would you feel better if you had a firearm on you? If you had a gun on you while that guy had it in front of you.
No, I would say if I was well trained, yes. If I was just me with a pistol on my side, no.
Yeah. I wouldn't, to be real. If you walk up to me and I'm working in a store and you catch me off guard and you're sticking a gun in my face, that concealed carry means shit.
Yeah, right.
I mean, honestly, you have a gun in your face. So now you have to use your power of words and you're going to comply.
Yeah.
Now, if that person takes aggressive action, then I have a chance.
Yeah.
Right? So better than I'm going to grab the pen off the table and stab you in the throat and be John Wick here and have the perfect, orderly or, perfect.
Not me. I think I pooped a little and started praying to God.
I pooped for you. So.
Yeah. No, I didn't. I didn't poop, but me and God started having a conversation real fast. I'll tell you that.
Hey, just remember what I did last Saturday?
Yeah.
Forgive that.
Got real religious real fast.
Yep.
Of course, you're listening to 21.6 Net. This is the Bear Facts on Guns with host Derek Baer, where we educate, inspire, and just want to have good open conversations about firearms, and how they can be used as a tool, not to be afraid of them necessarily. Right?
Yeah, I always call it a tool.
Yeah.
I got pulled over recently, right?
A tool or a shield. You used to call it a shield.
It's
right?
a shield.
Yeah,
It's a tool and a shield. That's what it is. You have a tool and a shield. I think there's times that it becomes a shield and there's times that it becomes a tool. I got pulled over on Friday.
Oh.
I was not talking on my cell phone.
Your whole car is a cell phone.
Yeah, it was the other. It was the other. It was the other phone. It was the other phone. Unfortunately, and we can get down that rabbit hole real quick too. By the way, so it's the first time I had an interaction with a police officer, and shout out to Buffalo Grove for being respectful. And I disclosed concealed carry right away. It was literally next to my wallet in my middle console at the time, and the first thing I thought of when I got pulled over was, this can be uncomfortable. And this is the first time I've ever had to deal with this situation. And at the same time, 10 and 2 is what I did. And he walked right up to the window and he asked for my license. And I just fully disclosed right away, I'm a concealed carry owner. I have a loaded firearm in my middle console right next to it. And he said, "Oh, okay, where is it?" And I said, it's touching my wallet in the middle console. And he goes, "Okay." And he acted like he was going to reach in to grab it. And he's like, "You know what? You can go ahead and just open it. Just use one hand." I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to speak my way through this entirely. First off, I have no ill will to the police department and I have respect your job 100%. I'm trying to be safe here. You're trying to be safe. I'm just going to make it through. I'm going to grab my right hand. I'm going to grab the center console. I'm going to lift it up and hold it there. I'm not going to reach in right away until you tell me I can reach into there." So I opened it and he said, "Okay, thank you." I said, "I'm going to reach for the black wallet and I'm going to use my elbow to push the center console down with the wallet in my hand." And you could see him chuckling, but at the same time, the points that I got from that cop, I'm sure were freaking astronomical.
Sure.
Because I'm not acting like a jackass right now. At that point, it can be a life or death situation very quickly. If I just go reaching around and pull a gun out and go, "Oh, that's not my wallet," he's going to shoot me.
Right.
So I just kept thinking in my head, like, okay, I'm just going to be communicative with him. And it ended up really well. The police officer was great and let me go, which was nice. But it brought up some back to my basics with concealed carry class and just being clear. And although you're carrying legally, it's still a police officer that has no idea who you are, has no idea your mental state, has no idea if you're legal or not. And he's just as scared as you are. And at the end of the day, I'm not doing anything bad, right? I didn't just murder 50 people and I'm trying to run away and I'm, getting pulled over. I may or may not have been talking on my cell phone. May or may not have on there as well. Sandy Hook brought up a weird thing with this when it comes down to gun ownership and who should own and all that kind of stuff. They settled $73 million.
The gun manufacturer, Remington,
settled
lawsuit. Yes.
But they're calling it a win against guns, as that you can sue a gun manufacturer for producing a certain firearm, which is not true.
That is the farthest from the truth.
It's wrong. It's not a fact, right? And
correct.
I don't if this pandemic has taught a lot of people anything, right? It's that the news lies all the time and they twist words and they make it seem like certain ways. So we have a gun manufacturer, Remington, who has produced firearms for a very long time and a reputable brand on top of that as well, has just been sued because of a marketing strategy that they used to make the AR-15 cool. So did this go to court?
It was in court. They settled out of court.
They didn't win the case.
Correct.
They settled the case.
There was no verdict.
There was no verdict that it was right or wrong. There was no jury of peers that says that this is right or wrong. Remington basically said, "Hey, we're going to pay $73 million to make this go away because it helps the Sandy Hook Foundation," which I could not agree more. I think it's admirable for a gun manufacturer to, and I'm going to call this, help with families that have dealt with severe loss and trauma. This happened, for those of you that don't know, Sandy Hook was 2014. A 20-year-old individual. I will not speak these people's names ever in my life because they absolutely deal with no airtime in my world at all. They don't deserve it. They don't respect it. Shot up an elementary school and killed 26 individuals.
That was back in 2012.
It's 2012?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Misinformed. Thanks for correcting the facts.
December 14th, 2012.
Oh, yeah. That's why I got the 14. That's why. 2012. Thank you. 2012, December 14th. I have the note right in front of me too, just to make sure. So that just tells you how great I'm doing today. Killed 26 people. 20 of those people that were killed were kids under between 6 and 7 years
elementary school kids.
Elementary school kids, 6 and 7-year-old kids that never got to see life and never see life.
Just got done watching SpongeBob. Happy little kids.
It's sick, dude. It's
very
sick person. It's a sick person. And I'm not defending the fact of anything other than the fact that this should have never happened, but it sparked a very big gun controversial statements about magazine capacities.
Mm-hmm.
In war and in distress, the other person doesn't care how many magazine bullets you have. If they have more, they have a better chance of killing you.
Right.
And I know that we're talking life and death stuff here right now, but I want to put a perspective on what it is, because these situations like Sandy Hook are not common. This was the deadliest children's mass shootings in America. Gross. But it's only once for that, right? And Shane has got a question on here too.
Right. So and here's what we and let's go. Let's unpack this, as they say.
Ooh, I like it.
When things seem so ridiculous as this, I just assume I'm missing something. How is holding a tool manufacturer liable? Just came in. Just come on. A few explained already. Sorry. And hi.
Hey, Shayna. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, oh, Keith, nice verbiage on that one too, and I'll get to you in just a second. So when it comes down to, they didn't sue the gun manufacturer. So I'm going to make this very clear. Mm-hmm. They did not sue Remington, and they did not win a court case proving that the gun manufacturer is responsible for actions that are taken using a product that they sell. What they did is they were able to settle outside of the courts, and it wasn't the tool itself that was in question. It was the marketing strategy that was used to target.
So, let me just read it.
Yeah, go ahead. Perfect. Right. Thanks.
Because I did my research on this.
You did.
I knew we were talking
about this. Absolutely. Yep.
Is the agreement is for $73 million.
Yep.
The agreement is significant because to the firearms industry, because the lawsuit worked around the federal law protecting gun companies from litigation by arguing that the manufacturer's marketing of the weapon had violated Connecticut consumer law.
It's such a fucking play on words, dude.
So they argued not the craziness. They didn't argue that the gun caused the death.
Correct.
They did not argue that.
Nope.
What they argued and went after was your marketing strategy. And what I also later found out was, if I can find it,
bury it deep.
Yeah.
So we're going after their marketing campaign. So they found the loophole on how they can sue them, and it's because of marketing. I can't remember the last freaking firearms commercial marketing at all that I've ever seen in my lifetime talking about, why guns are cool. I have seen in my life every single actor in America smoke cigarettes in a movie, and it's cool.
So here's the families contended that Remington violated state law by promoting the weapon with an approach that appealed to, now listen to this, so-called couch commandos and troubled young men like the gunman who committed the Sandy Hook massacre.
Gun couch commando. Can you imagine standing in court and sitting there and speaking into a microphone and saying, your advertising went to Couch
So-called
Commandos.
Couch Commandos.
Couch Commandos. I don't know what this person looks like,
Right.
or is what determines the psychological around a couch commando. I don't know how you market a couch commando. And I'm sure Remington sat in their marketing department and said, hey, you know what? Our ideal client to buy this firearm is sitting on a couch and he calls himself a commando. And we want to market to that dude because we want to cause mass shootings.
Yeehaw!
Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
Now, here's another thing that I found very interesting that isn't in the narrative, right?
Okay.
The financial settlement is, and this is important, but it was swept under the rug.
Fucking love it.
The financial settlement is being paid by insurance companies that had represented Remington, which is in bankruptcy.
Correct.
As a result, the gun industry officials said that Remington Outdoor Company effectively no longer exists, and the decision to settle was not made by a member of the firearms industry.
So it's all bullshit. Honestly, it's insurance companies paying to keep people quiet, to stop it from happening. It's to close a book. There's no restitution. At the end of the day, there's 26 families that are painstakingly having to deal with having loss of family members due to some person's ill intention. Now, I was reading an article earlier about this individual and finding out if there's a past history and some link to why this was done, because this guy created suicide.
The Couch Commando.
The Couch Commando. That's a great. I'm just going to call him the Couch Commando from now on because apparently that's acceptable in our world. So we have the Couch Commando sitting there. He's a 20-year-old guy. They said that he had Asperger's disease. He had OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. He had anxiety, and he had what was the last one that was in there? Whatever. It's something else that was another mental disorder. But they ruled already that had no weight in his decision to go kill 26 people. Are we like missing, like, there's the barn side of the barn that you're trying to shoot at, and you just turn around and shoot the other way. Honestly, the kid had anxiety, had obviously some mental issues. He killed his own mother before driving to the school.
Asperger's is a type of
autism. It's a mild form of autism, and there's different spectrums that it comes down to as well. And at the same time, then it becomes this question about, are we paying attention to what our kids are doing at 20 years old with that kind of, mental illness or a disease that they have going on, especially with Asperger's, being an autistic. Are you comprehending what's happening on there as well? Right. So, Keith, what do you got?
So Keith says, help me understand why the gun manufacturers have to bend over to this because of some nut job that hurt people. And that's
they're not doing that, though.
Correct.
The media is portraying it and saying that that's what's happening. Yeah. But I'm telling you right now, that's not what's being done, right? And again, the media, not us, right? Because we are factual here. That's what I stick to. That's why it's called the Bear Facts and Guns. And if I'm wrong on something, I'll be more than happy to admit it and take whatever it needs to be. Because honestly, there's only so much I can do factual representation for, because I have to dig through a bunch of shit all the time that has its own personal views and values, which are not factual. At the end of the day, we are not blaming, and they did not win against a gun manufacturer at all.
Thank you.
They found a loophole that's being paid by insurance, and they put Remington out of business. Remington was an amazing gun manufacturer. Amazing.
Yeah.
And they were already in bankruptcy.
Remington Steel.
What is that from?
It's an old TV show.
I do know that, though. But what I don't know why
that comes from the gunmetal.
Okay.
Right. Whatever. So again, are they referring to people playing Call of Duty? No, they're referring to Couch Commandos.
There's no definition to that right now.
They're just referring to Couch Commandos. But they're paying $73 million. Okay, so understand.
But the insurance is paying it.
The insurance companies.
So you picture yourself as Remington, and you're about to get sued. You hire a bunch of insurance companies to protect you. So if you do get sued, you are not out that money. they went under, and the insurance companies are the ones writing the
Right.
checks for the $73 million or
Now-
have agreed to it. They haven't written the check yet.
Now,
either.
there's some of you, Shayna, you're going to be in my ball court here.
Cool.
There are some of you, and we talked about this in the green room.
Yep.
Very similar back to the 1990s when Philip Morris, owner of the Marlboro Company, was sued for their marketing tactics for Marlboro bucks. Also, Camel had Camel Joe, and you could get, if you smoked enough cigarettes, you get the box tops, it was type of thing, and you could cash it in for coffee cups, rafts, outdoor gear, that rugged life. And Joe Camel, you could get, blue jean jackets, shirts, things like that, right? So in 1998, that settled as well on the way that they marketed, saying that we can't say that the cigarettes are killing people because it's your choice to smoke the cigarette.
True.
But we can say that you are marketing towards youth to get them hooked and smoking,
which they did. They used to drop the shit off at high schools and hey, smoke this. It's really cool. Look, Clint Eastwood's smoking it right now too.
And just so everybody knows, every day in my office, I drink coffee out of a Marlboro cup bought with Marlboro miles.
Wow, that's incredibly.
It's great. It's a great cup.
But if you look at F1 industry back in the day, so back in the 70s, so I'm talking about James Hunt and Niki Lauda, right? So two of the most famous race car drivers in the world had cigarettes plastered all over their cars. And were smoking while they were driving their cars at 180 miles an hour, which is badass, by the way, because I don't know. There's just something about it that's cool. At the end of the day, those people suffered greatly, and all the marketing was there. Yeah. Marketing is evil. Like I don't think you guys understand that marketing is one job and one job only: to buy the product that you're trying to sell. They have teams of psychologists that they hire that say, "Hey, how do we get into the minds of people so that you buy?" It's capitalism, people. It's capitalism. And as soon as you can realize that, and you look past the shiny bells and whistles and the noise and the noisemakers and everything that goes, ooh, that's cool. If you look past that, right, then you get to the core root of the product. Is the product good without all the bells and whistles and the big boobed ladies that are flashing, their tits on TV to make you stare at the screen and buy whatever it is because that sex sells, right? It's been a thing forever on there as well. I just want to say boobs on air, by the way, and I got number 2 today. I was able to say boobs on air. I'm gonna say it 3 times now. The sex sells, so boobs, and boobs. So we should we just gained more followers.
That's right.
Are you talking about boobs? Oh, okay, exactly. Nice Tim Allen, bro. That was a good one. So when we look at the marketing scheme, they found that way. Are we going to go after McDonald's next and say that these cheeseburgers, because it's convenient and easy and we make it fast, so fast food is now bad? And of course it's bad for you. It's fast food. It's not made with intentions of quality. It's made with, I need to get this product that is FDA approved. And by the way, anybody remember DuPont? There's a whole movie on it. There's a couple movies on it.
That's a good movie.
It's a really good movie. It's got Mark Ruffalo. Oh my God, I'm fucking up people's names today. I think he's gonna freaking have a field day. I love him too. Damn it, Mark Ruffalo, I think is his name. He is in that movie, and he's the lawyer that goes at this. And they buried him in paperwork. Right? He had rooms of paperwork, and at the end of the day, it was deadly for the people that worked there, and they proved it. Let me ask you a question, folks.
Yeah, Dark Waters. Good movie.
Thank you, Dark Waters. Let me ask you a question, folks. Do you know that you still have DuPont in your fucking kitchen right now? The same DuPont that was killing people and is still killing people is still in your house right now. They did not ban it.
Right.
They changed the verbiage to make it legal so that they can't fight on it. And they paid a bunch of people a bunch of money to shut the fuck up. Marketing is one way to do stuff, but if we go marketing, you're gonna have to go after everyone. Obviously, you guys know I drive a Tesla. For those of you that watch the show, and I know everyone's Mac especially is about to talk shit right now. Are we going to go after Elon Musk next? And they already have started. I've already heard it. I've already seen the foreshadowing on it about the autopilot. It is incredibly intuitive. It is incredibly awesome to use. It is also not 100% guarantee. And as an owner and a driver of one, I would never trust it, ever. I still pay attention while I drive. It is nice on the highway to be able to just relax and not have your hands sitting up there. It makes it so that here's the good news of it, right? You ready for this?
Yeah.
And then we can get to a couple of questions on there because it's going on there. Do you know that the national crash rate has dropped significantly because of the technology that's built in the cars nowadays? You have stopping power. They catch
lane changing. Beep, 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 beep.
Lane change assist. There's an accident that's just been averted. You have seatbelts. You have better airbags. You have more intuitive systems. Do you know that Tesla's autopilot system is so good that no other manufacturer can copy or replicate it or even come close to it right now at the safety that's around this? And by the way, Tesla is the only car manufacturer in the world that has a 5-star crash test rating across the board. Even in rollover, that car won't flip. It does not land on its roof. So it does not crush you from the top. The battery pack in the bottom makes it for a low center of gravity. When you get an impact, it will raise the car up, but it will land flat afterwards and lay flat. It's not perfect because if you puncture one of those battery packs, the thing lights up like a freaking tsunami.
Roman candle.
And it's incredibly hot and it's fast. You got to get the hell out of the car. So just for the Tesla haters out there, it's going to go nuts on this. At the end of the day, we are not looking at the people that we saved. We're looking at the people that died. And the same thing goes with the gun manufacturers. We're looking at the mass suicides. That's one mass murder, not mass suicide, mass murder in a Sandy Hook situation, which is incredibly difficult and incredibly wrong. And there's no way to get it back. So I just want to keep saying that because I'm not trying to downplay this. We're looking at the one. We're not paying attention to the 75 million other times that maybe guns have saved people or guns have fed people's families or have provided food or protection against people that shouldn't be in your lives.
Yeah.
Big statement. Sorry. Yeah. Throwing it out there. All right, cool. What do you got?
So Shayna says our courts are the last to be captured and are no longer following law, but melding it to fit political or specific goals. Why not the ammo company?
100%. Why not the gunpowder company?
Right.
Why not the primer company? Why not the brass company? Why not?
I can shoot a gun all day long, but I ain't got no bullets in it. Ain't going to hurt nobody.
So you're completely right, Shayna. 100%.
Any company that forks over that kind of money is playing to something. The biggest outcome is the narrative, not the truth.
But they didn't play to that. So just keep remembering that. Remington did not pay $73 million to the Sandy Hook victims. They did not.
Here is what good Americans have done. Mm-hmm. They've stopped researching.
Oh my God.
They take the 2-minute ticker. Yes. And they get mad and they jump to conclusions and then that's what creates the frustration and arguments from both sides.
Yep.
I had to go and do research to find out what happened.
Yep.
Which then it led me to go, hey, wait, marketing. This happened with Philip Morris.
Yes.
Back, and I said the 80s. It ended up being in the 90s. I don't have a dollar amount on that, right? But the interesting thing is if I would have gone with just what I heard or saw quickly on a ticker.
Which, by the way, hold that thought for a second, real quick. If you find the ticker that's quick, right? So that I'm going to say this and I'm going to get pinned for it. I hate Google 100% for marketing and everything. When you search something, whoever pays the most money gets put at the top is the easiest way to put that. So you're putting the ticker, the thing that you found really quickly is paying the most to be the fastest one to look at, to give you the narrative that you want, that they want, which is actually still selling shit, which is marketing in its own self.
That's correct.
Okay. Sorry. Just keep going.
So what we've done is now we start getting mad at things. But they're paying out 73 million. Again, no, they are not. Nope. No money came out of Remington's pocket.
No.
It's the insurance companies who said, well, hey, we kind of feel bad for you. Here's 73 million.
Exactly.
right? And you're right. You know what? Maybe they did. Maybe
Yep.
Remington did market that incorrectly according to Connecticut law, right? And everybody goes home with their little white sweater wrapped around their waist or whatever, as Connecticut's. And we love everybody in Connecticut. Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, so that's what I mean. Now we get
Law
upset and because the president said, "Oh, this is a great day for everybody who's been shot by a gun." No, it's not.
It's not. It's not.
It's
It's not
not.
at all. Ask the 26 family members who still can't go home and get their 6 and 7-year-old kids
Yeah,
tucked into bed and create. We could have cured cancer or heart disease or anything else, diabetes
Yeah.
or anything else with one of those, 6 to 7-year-old kids that never got a chance to live.
Yeah.
Because some kid who obviously has something going on internally wasn't addressed at some point to be able to make sure that doesn't
Right.
happen in their life.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
We are not blaming the one person that's the fault. It's fucking us, dude.
Yeah.
It's us. It's the people. We're not paying attention, and we don't care. Oh, that's Carrie's problem over there. Whoever you want to say, the Joneses problem. That's Joneses problem. We're not gonna focus on the Joneses. The Joneses wheeling guns outside and shooting them off in the middle of the day, but we're not gonna pay attention to them. So it's okay. It's okay. They have to deal with themselves. They got their own problems.
So Shannon says even even what you research doesn't make sense.
Oh,
Insurance
so true.
companies look hard to not pay. It depends, right?
Yeah.
This could be as an insurance company. I'm representing somebody going into bankruptcy. I want to wrap this up quick and get it done. And
check it off the list.
Or we're an insurance company. Which end of this story do we want to be tied to?
Yeah, because we're not talking about the insurance company.
Go back to marketing.
Yeah, we're not talking about insurance company,
our name's not anywhere on it right now, but if we were to fight it and take it to court, it would then come out saying, "Oh, Allstate, you're not necessarily in good hands."
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know if Allstate's the insurance company. I'm just throwing that out.
Yeah.
Right.
So true on there as well. And you're right. Marketing is a play on words. It's a play on mindset. That's what the whole point of it is, to sell. At the same time, did Remington sell a whole bunch of AR-15s because of whatever ad? Again,
Sure.
We were talking in the green room, Ken. I cannot even think of a cool gun commercial that comes to head. I can think of Geico 500 times a day because I can remember the gecko that comes on there.
Right.
I can remember McDonald's with Ronald McDonald and the Hamburglar, by the way, which promotes stealing. Right, the Hamburglar steals burgers.
Right.
Well, are we going to sue McDonald's because you created a world of theft and it's acceptable for that theft? Like, you want to go down this rabbit hole forever? We can go destroy marketing entirely and
right.
and not even get anywhere with it. It's really what it comes down to.
So I mean, yeah. What I'm saying here is, we're in some weird times, right? We're in no more weirder than when we went to war with Iraq or we went to war over in Afghanistan. We're at no more weirder times, right? However, because it's not us that is shooting the bullet, we there's a bad guy now. Okay, here's what I will say is that right now, and this went through my head when I heard that Ukraine had martial law and were handing out firearms.
Yep.
The question is, and why we said walk a mile in another country's shoe.
Yep.
If push came to shove, are you standing in a line?
Yep.
And I don't know. These could be firearms that don't even work. We don't know the condition of these firearms that all of a sudden, well, all right, everybody get in line like government cheese and come in and get a Glock.
Ken, if I hand you my AR-15 right now, would you even know how to put the bullets in the magazine?
No.
Would you I'm just throwing this out here right now, right?
No,
we laugh about it because it's true. We actually made Ken load a magazine. It was really funny. He put the bullet towards him, which was even better.
I put it
gun goes or bullets go that way.
I did put it back.
It was freaking awesome. At the same time, you're handing unarmed citizens who have never been able to understand how a firearm works, and you're handing them a loaded firearm or however shape and form that is. And what do you think is going to happen? First off, there's going to be a shit ton of accidents. There's going to be a shit ton of liability with that. What, are you going to go sue the gun manufacturer because it wasn't made for stupid? Like, it's not stupid. They're untrained.
Yep.
They're untrained. At the same time, we as Americans have so much firepower, and yeah, it's a tool and a shield,
Yep.
and it will also be used as a weapon defending my family if shit like this were to ever happen in this country. And you're goddamn right, I'd stand in my front door and blast as many fuckers as I could that are trying to invade my freedom.
Yeah.
Right? And I would defend others. The problem is that we have so many people that jump into this world that are scrutinizing it when I'm going to protect you. But let me ask you a question. If someone's shooting me, are you going to stand there and protect me? I already know the answer. It's fucking no.
Right.
But I'm the decent human being that's going to protect you, even though you feel that way. Because at the end of the day, our freedom is most important, right? And whatever your beliefs are, is exactly why this country was formed, is you have your beliefs.
Yep.
At the end of the day, this is a God-given right. This is not a law. This is not a thing to be messed with. It's a Second Amendment. We have the right to bear arms. It is that simple. Period. What do we got? Oh, Brandon Cross. What's up, buddy? How you doing, bud?
Brandon says most folks don't know how to clear and check when handed a firearm. Those are the ones that scare me. Well, then you're scared of me, brother.
No. But Ken gets the right training, and that's what we do. Is we focus
correct.
on training on that.
That's
so
correct.
We don't hand guns to people that don't understand that. We teach them how to use it properly, and we put safeguards in place, and we practice and make sure things are done correctly. We got time for one more question, and then we got to jump off the show here.
So Shayna says punitive damage or benevolent gift. Either way, it's another subjective call being made that will affect us all. It's getting closer every day to forced surrender of arms. The quote-unquote majority will demand it.
But is it really the majority? I want you to hold, Shayna. We're going to bring that back. I'm going to make a note of that for the next show. Tune in 2 weeks for the next show. Bare Facts on Guns. Thank you so much. I want to dive into that because is it the majority? We have 400 million registered guns out there, and there's 393 million Americans that live in America. Is it really the majority, or is it perceived as the majority? That's the next show title.
There you go.
Beautiful.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the Bare Facts on Guns. You've been caught in the net here, 21.6 the net. Come back tomorrow morning, 7:30 for the grounds with Giles and Jones. It'll either be a really, really funny one or a real good one to make you scratch your head and go, why did I get up and listen to this? Anyway, Friday is just a fantastic day that starts with the grounds and ends with the Dream Home Experts live tomorrow from Quiet Cool Studios.
We have a huge
boner.
Herpes. We have a huge announcement tomorrow, folks.
All right.
Huge announcement.
Be there, be square.
Be there, be square.
All right.
Thank you.